thing I want to chat about real quick before we take a quick break is Reesa Teesa turning TikTok into a long form content platform single handedly.
Yeah, TikTok should have been hire her, as they know they trying to move into long form.
Exactly.
She was right there the whole time. She was right there.
Look, Black people, we really dominated this Black History Month.
Look, we came through and showed out.
We came, we saw, we conquered on every platform, every avenue, because Reesa Teesa had me in the chokehold. There was no way. When I first saw what was going on with her in this 52-part story, each part is 10 minutes long. I was like, there is no way I'm about to listen to this whole thing. And I was like, you know what? Everybody's talking about it. I'm so curious to know what's going on. Let me just tune in and see. And man, this woman, she had me in the chokehold for 2.5 days. She's such a great storyteller. She has such a fantastic memory. And I think so many of us can empathize with being stuck with a brokey and not being able to get out. Like, it was just engaging. It was relatable. And you just wanted her to win. Like, you could tell the story weighing on her as the parts kept going on and on and on. And I was just absolutely I was just in it. And I just want her to win. I just want her to have all the good things. It was crazy.
I think, and all the social media gurus are giving their hot takes on what we need to do now since this came out. But I think the biggest thing, and I've been seeing them say this, but the biggest thing of why this popped off so much is relatability, like you said. And she was just so authentic. Like, this is just a real, everyday, regular, degular story. This is your friend coming to you and being like, girl, this is what happened.
Yeah.
And that's the way it felt. And you go into it like, damn, 50 parts, 10 minutes each, like, oh hell no. But when you start watching it, you are hooked.
That's so true.
You are truly hooked. I think timing kind of worked in her interest too, because this was right before President's Day holiday weekend. So a lot of people had a little bit more time on their hands. I love that, like, after the parts was done, she kind of talked about, she had a reunion is what we calling it. She just went live. But she said, like, I told it this way because I wanted it to be like an audiobook. I did not expect y'all to just sit there and watch me. Like, everything that the guru said, have perfect lighting. It was dark as hell on some of these videos. Have perfect sound. She's filming these in her car, like
on her phone.
Yeah. So she did, quote unquote, everything wrong, but her relatability and just being authentic, like, is what it's about. Like, stop worrying about all the equipment and all that stuff. Like,
and her attention to detail.
Yeah,
like, the
she's a great storyteller.
Yeah, 4 years after the fact, it's just so good. And I think, because I saw Crystal said she needs the Spark Notes version. I totally get that.
Yeah.
But y'all, I don't think any Spark Notes or whatever can do it justice, because it's really not just about the details. It's really about her and the way she told it, which is why, like, it's literally an audiobook. Think of it as a 7-hour audiobook and just listen to it that way, because I mean, I didn't try to force myself to listen to this all in one day or in one sitting. Every time I ended a part and I knew I was going to come back, I just bookmarked the next part and went about my day.
And if you go back to the playlist, TikTok will tell you where you left off too. So definitely, like, Crystal, I know you on your audiobook and treat it like that. I think when you get that mindset, it's like, okay, I can do this.
Add it to the TBR. Yeah, because it was the way she told it. And it's like every part, especially once you got it really into it, I think once you got to a part maybe like 6 or 7, every single part, my jaw would just be on the floor. And she knew to end it at the most perfect time to kind of leave you hanging for just a minute. It was so good. Like, I was so happy that I got to watch it once all the parts were out and I didn't have to wait. But even with the waiting, I think she ended it at the right moment, and she would be like, okay, y'all, I'm gonna pick back up tomorrow, blah, blah. And then she would do it. She was just so consistent. So I think even watching it in real time probably wasn't that bad, but being able to watch all the parts after the fact, now that it's all out, it's even better. And the man she talked about in this, Legion, he been doing some foolery online, which is just adding to the story. Even now.
He's still printing out documents. That's the thing. Like she would agree that she definitely was dumb in some areas.
Yes, that's
but
the thing.
I don't really blame her because this man had props. He was lying with props.
With props.
And this stuff is like, why would you lie about this? Why would you be like, I'm putting in a cash offer for $700,000? Who has that in cash?
I never want to hear proof of funds again. I never want to hear proof of funds.
Yeah, and being like buying a house and going through that process, knowing how ridiculous. And I get that she said she's never bought a house, she's never been through that process, so I can get why she doesn't really understand. But it's like, how is this happening? How are they putting in offers and y'all don't even know if he have the funds?
I know.
That's crazy.
And you know what? I think, without giving too much away, I think the most interesting thing to me, I just kept waiting on her to say that she was, giving him some type of financial help or whatever, and that was his motive for doing this, and that never came. So we still to this day don't know why this man was just lying like crazy. Like, he really wasn't using her for money. He was helping pay the bills.
Yeah. Like, what was the benefit? It's like he just got off of, like she said, he just kind of got off of bringing her to a high and get her excited and just to let down.
Disappointing her. Yeah.
Something
we
that
highly
recommend. Can't understand. But yeah,
go listen to Reesa's Teesa story. It's been, I think she's probably so overwhelmed by the amount of support that she's gotten too, because there's been brands reaching out to her, Delta talking about they'll fly her to London and Paris, because this was the whole part, this trip that she was supposed to take in the story, like BMW coming through about getting her a car because he had promised her this car. Like, it's just so much. So I hope that she feels the love and the support, and I hope she takes a social media break, because I know it's probably overwhelming.
Yeah, I hope she does too. J Bay said it's called edgy. Which is true.
There we go.
But great one to listen to, definitely. I think if you take it as a mindset of it being an audiobook, it won't seem as overwhelming.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. I think so too. Crystal says she needs to win a social media award for one of these award shows, like NAACP has one for social media. 100%. 100% she does, because I've never paid less attention to my For You page than I did for these 2.5 days. Like, I literally was only on TikTok to watch her. And when I needed a break, because this whole Legion story was so freaking draining, I got off TikTok completely. I was not doing any other scrolling.
Yeah, it's wild. So many different sides of TikTok too. Like, people started popping up on my For You page. I'm like, you ain't supposed to be here, but they was talking about Reesa Teesa. I'm like, I've never seen anything take over the internet like this.
No, it really did.
It's insane.
Really did. Everybody was just tuned in.
Yeah.
Julie said he's on his Canva game. Oh, Canva game strong.
How can he sponsor him? Because you're gonna sell. You're gonna sell. Canva, you're gonna sell.
Maybe he needs to do like an online class.
I see somebody in the comments like, he's still printing out stuff. I'm looking for a printer. Like, what printer do he use?
No, literally. No, it was this one girl made a TikTok, and it was like her boyfriend just bought a printer, and she was suspicious. She's like, what you got a printer for now?
That's another thing. Like, this story had us like, do I know your social?
Literally.
Where your birth certificate?
Literally.
And it's like,
this proof of funds?
Where's
the proof of funds?
It's like, to your spouse that you know since high school, and you like, what school you went to?
So good. Oh my gosh, it was so good.
I but what a time.
What a time. I can't wait, like, because this year I have been just slowly updating for our 2024 recap show, instead of trying to do it all at the end of the year. February is stacked. And I cannot wait to look back on this time at the end of the year and, be able to check in with Reesa Teesa, see what she got going on.
Yeah.
Talk about Beyonce's album at the end of the year once we had it out and have listened to it and stuff. So
it's a lot. It's definitely a lot.
Veronica said, even I was suspicious and I'm single.
Look, you gotta keep your head on a swivel.
No, really.
That is crazy. What
really?
is Atlanta is not a real place.
Yeah,
like
Atlanta
what is happening in Atlanta?
Left and right. It's been too much for
Keith
Atlanta.
Lee effect happened in Atlanta. That
Apparently,
whole thing.
the Oyster Girl was in Atlanta too.
Atlanta is not real.
Atlanta got too much.
Take Atlanta off the Go Wild list. It's not a real place.
Got too much going on.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, y'all, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back and finish the show.